Welcome, everybody, to my podcast. Today, we're going to be interviewing some important people from our past. 4 different periods, different points of view, and first-hand accounts from each of our guests. Now to start, we got 3 brave people who lived through Fort McHenry, and the man himself, Francis Scott Key.
Hi, thank you for having us today.
Yes, thank you.
I'm honored to be here.
So, man, how did you feel as you were watching the battle at Fort McHenry? What exactly was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was just fighting for the honor of our kingdom and to protect my own people.
I was fighting for the honor of my country and for the freedom of my people.
I was in a British boat for the whole battle. You see, I am a lawyer, so I was fighting my own battle for the life and freedom of my friend. But in the end, and the bravery of the American people inspired me to write the song known as the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, I see. So how did you all feel when you saw the American flag still standing?
I felt proud. Me and my brothers were keeping our spirits, and the flag was a representation of our victory.
I felt mad we were losing and it wasn't looking good for us.
I felt inspired. It's what led me to write my song. Every one of our men were represented, the ones still fighting and the ones who had fallen.
Now, Francis, did you end up getting your friend back?
Yes, I ended up being able to get my friend, William Beans, off the boat.
And you soldiers, how does it feel to be sitting next to each other now?
At the end of the day, we're all fighting for what matters to each other.
Agreed. I have a respect for you, soldier.
That'll be it for now. Man, thank you for your time.
Bye.
Good evening, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most pivotal moments in American Revolution, the Battle of Yorktown, which took place in 1781. This was the moment that essentially sealed the fate of the British forces in America. Today I'm joined by some historical key figures from the battle. General Washington, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us about your role at Yorktown?
Thank you, Sebastian. The Battle of Yorktown was not just a military engagement, it was a carefully planned operation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, I recognized that the war needed to end decisively after the British lost their foothold in the north. I saw an opportunity in the south where General Cornwallis had established a stronghold. My strategy was to trap him at Yorktown using a combined force of American and French troops.
You mentioned the French forces, and that brings me to the next key player in the battle, General Jean-Baptiste, portrayed by Kendra. General Baptiste, what was the role of the French in the battle?
Our role was vital, Sebastian. France has been an ally to the Americans from the beginning, and at Yorktown, our troops helped to turn the tide. I commanded a French army of nearly 7,000 men, and together with General George Washington and his forces, we surrounded General Cornwallis. We also brought naval support from our French fleet, which blocked Cornwallis's escape by sea. This cooperation between our nations was crucial in achieving victory.
Fascinating. Now let's hear from the other side. General Cornwallis, played by Ava. General, you were in the command of the British forces at Yorktown. What happened from your perspective?
Yes, the Battle of Yorktown was unexpected, but we were positioned at a strong defensive point, or so we thought. But what we did not anticipate was the sudden and overwhelming alliance between Washington's forces and the French. With their naval blockade cutting off our supply lines and reinforcements, our position became untenable. The siege was relentless, and despite our best efforts, we were surrounded ultimately. I was forced to surrender October 19th, 1781.
It must have been a difficult moment for you, General Washington. What did the surrender of Cornwallis mean for the American Revolution?
The surrender at Yorktown was a turning point we had been waiting for. It wasn't just a military victory, it was a psychological blow to the British. Their resolve was shattered, and it became clear that the American cause had a chance to succeed. While the war didn't officially end right away, this victory paved the way for peace negotiations. We were one step closer to securing our independence.
Kendra, what was the reaction of the French forces after the surrender?
There was an immense celebration. France had made a tremendous investment in supporting the American cause, both militarily and financially. To see the British surrender after all their hard work, especially in the coordination between our troops, it was a victory for both our nations. It proved that alliances, especially between countries with a shared cause, can lead to success.
And finally, General Cornwallis, after you surrender, what did you feel? Was it the end for the British in America?
It was indeed the beginning of the end. While the British would continue to fight in other parts of the world, the loss at Yorktown marked the collapse of our hopes to suppress the rebellion in the American colonies. We had underestimated the resolve of the American people and their allies.
Thank you for all your insights. It's clear that the Battle of Yorktown was not just a military engagement, but a defining moment that changed the course of history. General Washington, General Baptiste, and General Cornwallis, thank you for joining us today. And thank you all for being here. The Battle of Yorktown was a testament to the power of strategy, resilience, and alliances. It remains a turning point in the fight for American independence. Until next time, good night. Good evening and welcome to the special segment on the ongoing stocks market crash that is shaking global economies. Tonight we're joined by Daniele, a bank manager, and Ava and Kendra, everyday citizens whose lives have been affected by this event. Let's dive into this conversation. Daniele, can you explain what's happening in the markets right now?
Of course, Sebastian, we're witnessing an unprecedented downturn. The markets are in turmoil due to a mix of factors: tightening monetary policy, rising inflation, and geopolitical tensions that are causing investors to pull back. It's not just about the numbers going down. It's a loss of confidence in the financial system. A market crash like this impacts everyone, from the largest corporations to the average citizen.
It's definitely a scary time for a lot of people. Ava, you've been directly impacted. How can you share your experience?
Yes, Sebastian. It's been really tough. I had most of my savings in stocks, and watching the numbers drop was like seeing my future slip away. I'm not someone who spends a lot, just trying to save money for retirement, but now I'm worried that I'll have to keep working much longer than I planned to. Feels like my security just vanished overnight.
I get that, Ava. I had a small business loan that I've been paying off, and now with the market falling, I'm seeing a delay in customer payments. People are tightening their belts, and it's hard to plan for the future when you don't know if you'll be able to pay your bills tomorrow. I can't even imagine how bad it must be for people with their retirement savings invested in the market.
Seems like there's a ripple effect that touches everyone, whether you're a business owner or just someone saving for the future. Daniele, what would you say to the people like Ava and Kendra? How can they navigate this uncertainty?
Honestly, it's hard to feel optimistic when the future feels so up in the air, but hearing that the markets do recover is a little reassuring. Maybe it's just about staying afloat for now and hoping for a better tomorrow.
I think the recovery might be slow, but we've seen tough times before. We'll keep pushing forward, even if one step at a time, and we have each other to lean on.
That's the spirit. It's moments like these where communities come together and support one another. Daniele, thank you for your insight, and Ava and Kendra, thank you for sharing your experience with us. Hopefully this conversation offers some clarity as well as we all navigate these uncertain times. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, better days often follow even the hardest storms.
Yes,
Today we're reflecting on September 11, 2001, the day etched into the memory of millions. With us, we have Kendra, a retired firefighter who responded that morning, and Daniele, a citizen who witnessed the chaos unfold from the street. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Sebastian. It's an honor to share my story of that day for those who can't anymore.
Thank you. It still feels like yesterday.
Kendra, can you take us back to that morning?
It was a clear day, blue skies. I was only on duty in Lower Manhattan when the call came in at first. We thought it was a freak accident, a plane hitting the North Tower. But when the second plane hit, we knew it. It wasn't an accident. Everything changed in that moment.
I was walking to work. I looked up and saw the second plane hit. People screamed, some froze, others ran. There was ash everywhere, like snowfall but burning. The air was thick. I'll never forget the silence after the towers fell.
Kendra, what was it like inside the chaos?
Unreal. We ran into buildings most people were running out of. There was smoke, confusion, and debris. And then the South Tower collapsed. We lost communication. I lost friends that day. We all did. But we kept going. You just keep going.
Daniele, how did that day change you?
I think I learned how fragile life is, but also how strong people can be. Strangers helped each other. We cried together. We held hands, even if we didn't know each other's names.
And Kendra, after all these years, what do you carry with you?
Gratitude for the lives we saved. Grief for the ones we didn't, but mostly a promise to never forget.
And we won't. Thank you both for your courage and for sharing your story. To all the first responders, survivors, and families affected, we remember you every day.